Hey, YouTubers and toy train lovers. Got a second film to discuss my new Rio Grande number 42 44 tonner made by Bachman. And I noticed as I was making the film yesterday that the battery light started flickering green, which meant it was time for me to turn off the film and end it sooner. And what I wanted to say is I would have loved to have had one of these years ago when I was a kid. But the only 44 tonners that were offered, and I'm going to move this around to my screen, were made by Lionel, and they were approximately a foot long, which was what this 6220 is here. And they were way out of scale. Now, Lionel really didn't have a lot of choice. They weren't using CAN motors. They're using the trucks that were and motors that were available to them, and they were basically using the same truck that's used in the 6220 and motor, and that's what they had, and they used what they had. And I just simply didn't like it because I'd seen the one in our town, the nice little 44 tonner, and I wanted one that looked like that. So I waited years and years and years, and Bachman finally came out with one, and so did Mike's Train House, as I mentioned earlier, and I bought it. And this once again reminds me of the train that ran in our town, and probably in many people's towns. And I only put 3 cars behind it because that's basically what they were running, just a few box cars. If you ever saw one running from your through your town, this would have been about the speed they were going. Very, very slowly. And they weren't terribly powerful, but they were extremely practical. And these were originally built to skirt a union rule, railroad union, workers' union, that any train over 90 tons needed 2 employees. And this was to save the jobs of the firemen who'd worked in the steam trains, and the steam trains were being phased out. And I have rarely seen less than 2 people on one of these, simply because they're shunting, they're coupling, they're uncoupling, they're switching over to sidings, and usually you'll see a guy standing here on the steps alongside the outside of the shell, and he'll be going up and down these little steps and switching, and like I said, coupling and uncoupling. So I don't think the railroads saved a lot of money with having one less employee, because these were real workers. These, you didn't just hook these up to a train and drive 100 miles. They were generally going 5, 10, 20 miles and hooking up cars and dropping off cars, or sometimes in a 5-mile period in corporation lots. They're running all around the property of the corporation and shunting cars. So they were extremely useful. And it's really nice to know that they're still running today. I believe these were originally, they started producing these around 1940. And as I said in my previous film, they no longer make them. But I watched a film of a train running in Peru along some really dangerous cliffs. And guess what? They had one of these 44-tonners, and it was making the corners on this cliff and pulling a passenger train, and it would sometimes go off on a siding and then back up a hill and then go up a siding, back up into a siding and switch and go up a hill, and that's how they got over the mountains. But these are really, really workhorses. So anyway, that's the end of my little film. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about these little locomotives. I'm sure a lot of younger people have never heard about them or seen them, except for these giant oversized Lionel versions. This is what they're really supposed to look like. So thanks for watching, and once again, this has been a Big Lizard production. Bye bye.